Here we go. And hello, everybody. This is Dr. Hank, and we are you are going to be hearing the good news about your real estate GPS to success. And just to get us started, I did my national podcast, which is Agent Wealth Success. It's on iTunes and all kinds of different places. But I just had, and it'll be out next Tuesday, but it's under Brennan and how she, in her first month using this real estate GPS to success, closed $1.2 million deals. And so a part of it is on there and how she did it. And so if you have separate questions, you can just email me or text me, and I can tell you exactly what lead program she used. And it was other than actually what I'm going to share with you today. And I have the #1 leads program in America that I'm going to be offering and providing for you today. So this is exciting times that in real estate, that the real estate industry has really continue to change. And because of those national podcasts where I'm able to be on with top agents and brokers around America, really around the world even, that I've had people, and they basically shared their secrets, and I researched them. And so I know now the secret on how to be a $10 million or more producing agent, and I call it your real estate GPS to success. And that is, let me just see here, my little clicker. I want to make sure I get my clicker in. Give me a second. Fell out. There we go. And let me see. Should go. Hello. My screen is stuck, so give me a second here. There we go. And so I'm going to take you through the 5 steps to your real estate GPS to success to have at least $10 million worth of sales. It is a conglomerate of all kinds of different things, business models, things that I provide that will help you. And so the first thing that real estate top agents and brokers around mainly America have shared with me is it's all about your mindset. And so scientists have proven that the first step of everything that you experience is your thought. It has nothing to do with the outside world, what other people are doing, whether the economy is good, bad, or whatever. It all has to do with your mindset. Well, the good news is that I actually am a mental scientist, and I do mindset training. And so for my agents exclusively, you'll be able to have my mindset training and my mentorship. And this means more business and commissions for you. The second step that these agents, top agents and brokers shared with me is they invest heavily with lead programs. And that they typically are investing at least $2,000, if not more, each month on lead programs. The good news for you is that you're not going to have that capital risk at all. And so it's more service to others because you'll be able to impact more. In fact, on my national podcast that I was on this morning, that Bren mentioned that she is actually closing 1 out of 3 deals. And she's just loving helping people and showing them homes and getting prepared, and shares her secrets on how she prepares to make sure that that prospect turns into a client. But the main reason why most of us agents and brokers have been here is because we wanted to have a means of income. So that does #1, right? And then #2, to be able to serve more people. So I'm going to satisfy most of everybody's needs as far as wanting to be an agent and a successful one. The third one that they shared with me is it's training and development. And I have more training. In fact, I have the best training in America, and I couple that with my business model. And so you're going to have more time, more life balance, become more effective, and be able to have that as well. And then the fourth one is that I'm going to give you savings, and you're going to actually start to have a savings. One thing that I found with brokers, so again, these top agents, that they said it was mindset number one, then it was lead programs, then it was training. And by the way, they were investing typically at least $2,000 a month in training as well. So just on leads and training, top agents and brokers are investing about $4,000 a month or a lot more. And the good news is you won't have to. Despite that those agents are making more money, that typically they don't have much of a savings or investment. In fact, about 97% of all agents, the only thing they're going to rely on is either their Social Security, which pays about $1,500 a month, or the strategy of work until you die. And so I don't think any of us want to do that, right? And then the fifth one is passive income. And so none of us have had several streams of revenue, and I'm going to actually give you 3 streams of revenue that you're now going to be able to enjoy under the GPS to success. So again, there's the 5 steps, and I will review those with you. But first, I wanted to share with you a personal story about me. And this is what I call my miraculous car experience. And an 18-wheeler was towing an 18-wheeler and slid out of control and totaled my car and totaled my body. This was 3 years ago. I was told that I would never walk again, that I would be paralyzed. In fact, the VA proclaimed me permanently homebound and permanently disabled. When I awoke after this accident, that I said to my wife, I just know something's good is going to happen, because I know everything that happens to us, there's a blessing in it. And so I told my wife, Sharon, I bet the blessing is that some of my lottery tickets that were in my car, if you go to my car, and I bet the winning tickets are there. And she rolls her eyes and figures I'm under too many drugs at the time. And so when she comes back, she took these pictures there. And when she comes back, she goes, I'm sorry to inform you, but you have no car door, that the jaws of life needed to extract it. So if you want to become an instant millionaire, and I help people become millionaires, but if you want to become an instant one, you can go into that junkyard and find that door, and there are those winning tickets. Again, that was 3 years ago. And here I am, that he had a crushed head. You can kind of still see his indentation, crushed chest, a shattered left hand. And so I couldn't move this left hand, these fingers at all. And voila, look at now what I can do. And it's all the power of God. It's just an amazing, amazing thing. But we have to do the asking. And so they basically, I had a crushed back, and I was paralyzed from my waist down. The VA, I'm a Vietnam veteran, and the VA proclaimed me permanently homebound and permanently disabled. Now, I'm still smiling there, and I'm doing that for 2 reasons. Number one, because of my good positive attitude. And then the second reason is that the morphine. And so the morphine was very good with that, and helped that situation out. But the doctors were telling me that I could never walk again. And instead of believing the doctors, I decided to believe me and God and what we wanted. And I visualized me walking and having good health again. And in fact, right now, you can see 3 years later, and I'm actually walking. I'm standing right now. And I do a little dance for you, but you can't see that dance. But I have better health, and I asked for better health than I had previous to the car experience, and I do. And so that led me to, and so one of the blessings was that it led me to help create this GPS to success and discover these different business models that were out there for all of us to enjoy more wealth and more success. So let's look at the evolving real estate industry and where it's been. Basically in the 60s, it was 50-50. As agents got about half of the commissions. In the 70s, Realogy came out, and they like to control agents, and the government stepped in and said, hey, you can't do that. RE/MAX came out, and RE/MAX said, hey, we got great news for you guys. You get 100% of your commissions. Well, it's really impossible to give 100% of your commissions under all these business models of brokers, because they have brick and mortar. In fact, Keller Williams last year had $800 million just for office space that they spent in the United States. And that doesn't include the admin and the insurance and all the other costs that are involved with that. And so in the 90s, oh, by the way, they said 100%, RE/MAX did, but then they charged $2,000. And so you end up per month, so you end up paying $24,000. And in the 90s, there was Keller Williams came out, and Gary Keller was actually in Austin, Texas, and he was just incredible. What he did is he said, let's do a business model and do a 70-30 split. And that way the agent gets 70%, so it's better than the 50-50. But the reason why Keller Williams became the fastest growing real estate company ever is in 20 years, they got to 10,000 agents. Nobody had growth like that before, but they did it because of profit share. And so I'm not sure if you're aware of what profit share is, but profit share basically is when you invite agents into Keller Williams, and it's geographically restricted in that geographic franchise area. And when you invite agents in, that you then get a piece of that profit and of the commissions of the agents that you have invited. And then it's kind of like multi-level, if you will. If you invite that agent, invites that agent, and it goes 7 levels deep. And that's why they became the world's #1 fastest growing real estate company ever. However, 10 years ago, a brand new model came out, and that model said, we're going to do a new compensation package, and we're going to pay our agents in 3 areas that they've never been paid for, never had the opportunity to have before. And it's a new business model where we're going to be like Amazon. And so Amazon, we're going to go up in the cloud, and we're going to have these different departments, 12 different departments. In fact, I just talked again to Bren this morning where she did the 1.2 million. And she said, yeah, it's just great. She needed like your direct deposit changed. And she went up there in 30 seconds, went up to the cloud, went to the accounting department, and they did the change instantly for her. And like literally anything about your transactions, any information. And so it's all up. It's actually the largest real estate brokerage office in the world. And you get your answers immediately like that. And so this new model also said, we're going to eliminate most of the costs. And so they did, and no franchise fees. And there are no borders that you can invite agents anywhere in the United States if you want to. And that's just one part of the passive income that you'll receive under this business model. Now, technology and timing is changing everything. The real what happens is so who took over real estate? Blockbuster, literally every corner. A little company came to them and said, hey, we got this great idea. Why don't you come to and we're going to put movies up on the cloud. And Blockbuster said, we don't need you. We're a $6 billion business. We got a brick and mortar. We got a store on every corner. And 3 years later, that Blockbuster went bankrupt. And why? Because they made a bad business decision. And one of the things I want to help you to do is to make sure you're making a good business decision and you're getting the most out of real estate that you can, the most income, even ownership, stock ownership, as well as passive income for your life and your children's life. So this is a legacy thing too. So with Blockbuster, that little company was Netflix. And so it's this one company takes over the entire industry. At Tower Records, I can't buy my 8 tracks anymore. and so that's at iTunes now, right? It's Steve Jobs. That Airbnb has more hotel rooms than the top 3 hotel chains in the world, but they don't own 1 hotel room. And Yellow Cab, about 4 months ago, just declared bankruptcy. Why? Because of one company, that company being Uber. In fact, I'm going to Switzerland this week and Italy, and we were looking at Uber, and there's Uber all over the world, and so we are taking Uber to all kinds of different places and seeing The Last Dinner, the painting Da Vinci's Last Dinner, and so it's just amazing on what's happening, and so we get a better experience, a better ride than we would with a taxi cab. So things are getting better and better, but they haven't been better and better in real estate. Pretty much we were stagnant. Well, here's what happened is that these wonderful companies, Keller Williams, Century 21, whatever broker that you're with, they're wonderful companies, but they're stuck. And they're stuck with two things. First of all, they have high costs. That virtually everyone, especially these major companies, they have heavy overhead, a brick and mortar, and then admin people and insurance, et cetera. And so they're stuck with a lot of high costs. And where do they get that cost? Where are they getting that money? They're taking it out of our pocket. They're literally pickpocketing us, if you will. And I'm a broker. I have 420 agents, and we pretty much nickel and dime our agents in order to make it and to make a profit. And the other thing they're stuck with, besides high costs, is that they're stuck with no stock, at least no stock worth anything. When I sold my company, I sold it, and I'll probably never get paid for it, because pretty much it's the person that's heading up the company that makes the company, and when you leave, your stock isn't worth anything. Well, with these major companies that millionaires become millionaires because of stock, not what their monthly income is. Billionaires become billionaires not because of their monthly income, because of stock. So for example, Gary Keller, he is a multi-billionaire, and he is because of the stock. And so he has all the stock, and he's not going to give you one share of stock, okay? And I don't blame him. It's his company, that's what he's done. But the point is that there is no stock for us agents. There is no way to build our wealth until now. And so I introduced to you cloud-based eXp Realty. eXp is the largest geographic real estate company in America. So largest real estate company in America. It's already, just a couple months ago, I was saying it's the seventh largest broker. We're now the fifth largest broker. In fact, Inman, from Inman News, independent voice of real estate, expects that eXp will be at 50,000 agents this year. By the time we're done, we'll be at something like 300,000 to 1 million agents. Now, just for perspective, Keller Williams being the largest, they have 175,000 agents. So in other words, eXp is going to be the #1 broker in America and throughout the world. Next year, we go out to the world. I've been to Dubai, and I've had people fly in from Australia, and we're all primed and ready to go. But we're right now managing all this amazing growth and how we're blessing real estate agents, brokers across America and Canada. And we're doing that. In fact, our growth, we in less than 10 years are at 18,500 agents. And remember, Keller Williams was the fastest broker, and it took them 20 years to do it. We did it in half the time, and they got 10,000, and we almost have 20,000. In fact, right now today, we have about 2,000 agents that are onboarding with us. So eXp Realty, the reason why this is part of my business model, and this business model is part of the GPS to your success, is this company can provide 3 streams of income. And if you know that a counsel from billionaires, every billionaire will tell you that they have multiple streams of income. Now, we don't necessarily all want to become billionaires. We'd like to, but probably don't think we will. But we all can become millionaires. And I'm going to show you how you can become independently wealthy. The founder is Glenn Sanford. He has been called the most innovative CEO in 2018. So he's regarded as like the Jeff Bezos of Amazon, the Steve Jobs, Bill Gates of real estate. And then we have amazing women in there, women of influence in 2018, some of our executives. And the entire the world is talking about us. Join the company everybody is talking about, the Amazon of real estate, 5th largest broker right now in the US, #1 closed deals. That's the other thing, that if you are looking to close more deals, you should go with the broker that has the most closes, growth in America. And so our number one focus is to help you to close more business, to get more deals, close more business, earn more commissions. And so, and you can see it's one of the best places in America to work. And we're disrupting the real estate brokerage status quo. We are the Amazon of real estate. Here's a graph just showing, depicting the type of growth I came on little in 2015 there, and part of the #1 Lunch and Learn that we do in Dallas in America for EXPs. I have lunch and learns all over America. I have webinars all over America. I have agents all over America. It's just explosive growth, and you can see that chart there that at the end of 2018 we're at 12,500. Now we're at 18,500. So you can see what massive growth we have. Also, our stock is NASDAQ stock, so it's worth something. And it's actually over-the-counter NASDAQ stock. You have to be invited to NASDAQ. Last year we were invited, and NASDAQ only invites companies that have pristine financials and show sustainability and long-term growth. And so we met and exceeded all of those expectations. So it's NASDAQ, and it's one of the fastest growing stocks in the world. In fact, it's tripled in the last year. It's increased by over 1,000% in the last couple of years. So the way that graph is going on the growth of agents, so is the stock. And you're going to have 5 ways to be able to enjoy that stock, have that stock, without having to pay for it. And it's really a dream come true. It's one of the answers that, well, I was praying before my car accident. I was praying for, I need some solutions for my agents and now brokers on to give them some wealth, some long-term wealth. And so I discovered this. And this, along with my mindset training, the other things that I'll share with you, is we basically have put EXP on steroids to take you and to build your wealth and to build your business. So real estate is evolving, and the question is, are we? And so first of all, it's going to cloud-based, the best and the most training. And cloud-based, understand, it's live training, and that it is, you can ask questions there. You're just a little avatar. And I didn't know 3 years ago what an avatar meant. And other than the movie The Avatar, you know. And so now I love my avatar. My avatar has darker hair than I do, has more hair than I do, and can run faster than I can run like the wind. And so it's cloud-based with the best and most training. And remember, that's one of the factors that create you to become successful in $10 million agent, is to have good training. Well, you're going to have the best and the most real estate training, which includes EXP's training as well as mine. Then you're going to have exclusive leads programs. In fact, you're going to have the #1 lead program in America, about 1 out of 5 deals closed. And I have agents. My objective always is, and I succeed with every agent that just listens to me and follows my counsel, that they'll become at least $10 million agents. And so I give these exclusive lead programs. Again, we have other lead programs as well. And the good news is that it's not going to cost you really anything. It's going to be very little. In fact, it's just $85 per month on everything that I'm sharing with you here. And then you're going to have public stock, and you're going to have public stock earned in 5 ways that I'll get to without having to pay for it, and then unparalleled revenue sharing. So remember, I shared with you that Keller Williams had profit share, and that is your revenues less all those costs with brick and mortar and everything, and you come down to your profit. Well, what EXP does is they can afford, because of the financial situation of reducing all these costs, that they take it literally off the top. And so we pay 20 to 40 times more than Keller Williams' profit share. So put that in perspective. I know a lady that works at Keller Williams, an agent at Keller Williams. She has invited agents throughout the years. She makes $1,500 per month on average passive income on profit share. Well, the same exact model that EXP uses, except for one change, that we pay off the top, and because we pay at least 20 times more, instead of that lady making $1,500 a month, she would be making over $30,000 a month. So I'm a mental scientist, a head doctor, and so I need to share with you a little mindset training and do a little of that. And so the first thing is people ask me, what is the split? And I said, well, the split, my agents are getting 120%, 150%, 200%, some even 1,000%. And they go, Dr. Hank, you might be smart in some things, but you're downright stupid on this. It only goes to 100%. And then I share with them, oh, yes, I understand. You're talking about the old way that real estate business was done, where you just had your commissions and that's it. And so you had to go out, get your own business, and basically you got to eat what you killed, and it wasn't very much fun. In fact, most of us aren't having nearly as much fun as we now can. So because there's 3 streams of revenue, you're actually going to make more than 100% of your commission. First, your business is going to grow significantly because of the leads and the training that we provide you. Secondly, you'll now have revenue sharing. And so you'll now have passive income. And it's just sharing the good news with other people. And really what it does is, instead of just the few being rich, that now all of us become rich. And with this revenue sharing, and now you'll have public stock. And so no longer are you going to be dependent on just generating your own business. No longer are you going to be a slave to your commissions. And so tell me on, how many times have you gone on vacation for a week or 2 weeks and come back and now you got to kind of start all over? Or when January comes, you got to kind of start all over, right? The year over again. Well, with this just keeps on giving and giving and growing and growing. In fact, I had a lady who was with me for 4 months, and she was on vacation in Paris, and she texted me because on the 22nd of every month, the money is wired in by the agents you invited. On closes they had the month before, you get it the next month on the 22nd. She texted me on the 22nd. She goes, oh my God, Dr. Hank, I just love this. I just got a check for over a wire deposit for over $6,000 in revenue share, and that paid for my entire trip and more so on going to Europe. And so how would you like the 22nd of every month to have passive income coming in? Well, it is true, it's real, and it's happening to literally thousands of agents now across America. So remember, I shared with you the 5 different steps. You're going to get Dr. Hank's mindset training. And a few of you that are listening to this have already been through my mind training or are going through it. And so you have my mind training on how to become a $10 million agent. In fact, I have one sentence that if you write that sentence down 25 times each day, that you will increase your income. And again, I spoke with a couple of you about that as well. And so you're going to have all kinds of things with my mindset training. We're also going to provide 2 exclusive lead programs for you. The first one is conversion, and under conversion.com is KV Core. And KV Core, most people would have to pay $1,000 startup at $1,600 per month. We also provide Sync, which really isn't necessary because you're going to get all the leads you need with KV Core. But we also have Sync, Commissions Inc. And again, that's $1,600 a month. So that would be over $30,000 a year of cost to you. And you're going to get included in that $85 for 50 of that $85 is going to be this leads program, that you're going to get the full leads program and you don't need to pay for it. Basically, that EXP negotiated it, and then it's helping pay for it to help you to be able to increase your commissions and your business. Leads and training builds business. Alfred, for example, when he first used KV Core in his first month, he got 50 leads, 10 buyers, 2 listing presentations, and closed one of those listing presentations. So that means 1 out of 5 deals closed. And these are exclusive leads. You literally will pick your neighborhood that you want anywhere in America. They're in every KV Cores in every MLS in America. And I have specific training, and that basically I have 3 hours of training. When you take that training, most of my agents are generating at least $1 million per month based on that training. Alfred here, you can see on what he did his first month. Jeff and Amanda, they were doing about 200 deals a year. They're in Houston. They're number 7 out of the 40,000 that are down there. And they said, we don't care about the revenue share. We don't care about the stock. We just care about this leads program. And so because they were paying $2,000 a month for Boomtown. Remember, I shared with you that people were paying, top agents and brokers were paying a couple grand for leads and a couple grand for training, which you will now get even better leads, better training, and your investment is, again, only $85 per month. So at the time, they said, hey, we don't care about that. They started using KB Core. Last year, they did 220 deals. So they increased their business by 10% after doing, 200 deals already. They did 220, but then they also really enjoy their stock now. It's worth about $250,000 in less than 2 years, and they have revenue share of about $8,000 passive income for them and their children each month for the rest of their lives. And so training and development. So in the training, we have over 35 hours of training for you. So not only do we have the training, but for development, we have these dozen different departments to be able to answer any questions you have about your transaction, your brokers up there. Then 30 seconds can be able to contact your broker. We have daily training, large scale meetings. You could do in that team collaboration. I had a closing where I was up in Toronto recruiting agents and up in Toronto, and I had a buyer up there and they wanted to buy a home in New York, and so we had the closing actually up in the cloud. Now, not all the closings normally, it's just done a regular way, but just know you have all the technology that you need to be able to virtually get any and all answers that you want and have America's best and most training. More than 35 hours of live training. We have a list every that is out there. You know what training is coming up for the next month or so each week on the different training in sales, listing, lead generation, social media, CRM. And by the way, we also provide you America's best CRM, and that CRM is KB Core's CRM, and it's artificial intelligence, where it literally can identify who the prospect is, if they're a buyer or a seller, and then instantly sends a text and an email. And so it's the largest office in the world, the largest real estate office in the world. And what this has done is it has reduced our expenses and it has redistributed the wealth back to each one of us. And so, hallelujah, we finally now have a solution for us to be able to provide and generate wealth for us. People say, oh, but I need an office. And by the way, if you think that most business isn't done in the broker's office anymore, before you needed a broker's office. The listings were a book, and you had to literally a hardcover book that you had the client would come in, the buyer would come in and would page through this book. Well, those days are gone because of the internet, and there's no need for a broker's office. And I can't think of even one closing that I've had, I don't know, a few years now in the broker's office. But if you need an office to meet with your clients or whatever, we actually have more offices than most brokers. And it's under Regus. Go to Regus.com. There's over 3,200 locations. In fact, I'm the #1 broker in DFW, and I have 27 offices here because of Regus. I have 27 offices and then thousands of agents. And so it's just like, wow, this is just amazing on how we have all the offices, every and anything that you need, easier, quicker, and more efficiently. And then you get my free resources. And so I have all kinds of resources. If you want to become an investor, if you want to buy apartments, if you need money, that all of those different things that are available to you with me, that again, I have this national podcast where I have the top agents, brokers, trainers, and people resources for you. And so I can direct you to all that. And of course, you have access to all of my podcasts as well. Let's talk now about the 4th step, and that is you're going to be able to get stock. And most people don't understand. Most people think stock just goes up and down. So they hear the radio, whatever. Right now, the stock market's at an all-time high. In fact, if you put in $1 in 1920, it would be worth over, I think it's $26,000, $1. And so the fact is that overall the market goes up. And with this stock, it's called EXPI. And so you can go look it up for EXPI. And you can see where we have powerful agent ownership. We literally are all owners of the company. And there's 5 ways to earn stock without having to pay for it. The first is on your first sale. You get $200 of shares of stock. In fact, Bren, who was on this morning doing 1.2 million because she did her first deal in the first month, we gave her $200 of stock, and she said, "My gosh, this now grows my wealth." Whereas before, she would just do deals, pretty much spend the money like most people do, and not have it. Then when you cap, so again, it's an 80-20 cap, but you cap at $16,000. Remax is $24,000, KW is $21,000. So you can kind of figure it out. Well, just $16,000, $5,000 less than KW. But remember, there are many ways in order to get that money back. And so your business is going to grow. You're going to have stock, and you have an opportunity for revenue share. But when you cap and when you hit, it's about $2.6 million, which you should be able to do in the first 2 months with me, if you do as I suggest that you do. I had, again, Bren did she's halfway there and can't wait to cap. So after 2 months of cap, and then she makes 100% after that. So you can see she's making way more money than she had before. In fact, she said that she already made more money than she has with the deal, other contracts that she has in place right now than she did all last year with their old broker. And so when you cap, we give you $400 of shares. And so whenever you capped and gotten anything, in fact, maybe the broker's mad at you because they're not making any more money off you. And then you can become an icon agent. And that is when you do $2.6 million and then do approximately 20 more transactions, that we're going to pay you $16,000 in stock. Well, based on my example with Bren, who just started here, who wasn't a good agent, now is, that she was able to, she's now looking at getting her full cap back just in stock, not to mention that she has grown her income. So $16,000 in stock, we give you, once again, you do $2.6 million and about 20 more deals. Then, if you share this good news, and the good news is that here is your wealth and abundance. You have all been asking, praying for, I want to have more wealth, I want to have more abundance, I want to give more to my children, whatever, all these things. Well, now the answer in real estate is here for you. And for you to share the good news, you don't do any recruiting, you just invite agents to me. I have the #1 recruiting team in America ever. Out of those 18,500 agents, we have over 14,000 of those agents with my team, with Rob Flick and our team together, that we have most of the agents that we did. So we do all the recruiting for you. You don't have to do any recruiting. You just invite them to the good news, just invite them to me. And if anything, they get all my free resources, and they can stay where they are if they prefer. That's just fine. And their loss, if you will. And then also we do like what's a 401k. So this is like corporate America without all the bad stuff. And so you're going to be able to get now up to 5% of your commissions. You can purchase stock at a 20% discount. And so if you don't, this is not mandatory, it's optional, but if you don't do it, you can't join EXP. And I'm just kidding about that, but you really should do it if you understand how money works. First of all, it's one of America's fastest growing stocks. In fact, an independent company, I can't say my personal opinion, but an independent company said that the stock is trading at about $10 right now and expects it to be at least at $18 by the end of the year. And this I can say though about stock, real estate stock, is when the number of agents grow, obviously your revenue grows, your profits grow, and then the stock grows and increases in value. And so since we're the fastest growing real estate company, and then we're expected to continue that growth, in fact, we've just started. So this is the good news for you. It's perfect timing because the stock is relatively low at around $10, and we only have 18,500 out of 2 million. So there's 2 million agents out there that you can invite. And if you just invite a few, you're going to see that you'll become independently wealthy. And so the good news also is you get to keep your name and reputation. So all brokers, all agents, you can go ahead and use whatever name that you want that's in compliance within your state. And so you don't have to use EXP. In most states, it requires that you have to, well, in all states, it requires you have to put down on your signage, on your marketing materials, and you would put down brokered by EXP Realty, but your name can be on everything. That we are what we call broker team agent centric. We want you to build your business the way you want to. You don't need our name. No consumer goes and buys a house because it's EXP or KW or whatever. They buy the house because they want that house. And so because of that, we recognize that and know that you can use whatever name, and if you have a reputation out there that you want to blow that up in your market, you're free to do that. Now let's go to the fifth step, and the fifth step is passive income. And basically the way this plays out is, if you look at tier 1, these are agents that you invite. And when you invite, so let's say you invite an agent this month, next month, and let's say they have a $10,000 gross commission that they close. You invite an agent, they close this month. Next month, on the 22nd of the month, just for that one agent, on that one transaction that they close, you'll be wired on the $10,000, $350. Well, you can see on how this starts getting more and more and more as you get more agents, and then they invite agents, and going down 7 levels. So on every agent that you invite, you get 17.5% out of the 20%. You get 17.5% of that commission of the company that the company has. Now, those agents are going to invite agents whether you like it or not. And so those agents that invite agents, that they're going to join, and when they get a closing, you'll get paid 20% out of the 20% that the company keeps, up to $3,200, because that's when they cap. But to qualify, you have to personally have invited 5 agents to your first tier. And then you can see 10 agents invite 15. So one way to become independently wealthy is to invite 40 agents. And you could have a plan next 4 months, or next 4 years, whatever you want, that to invite 40 agents that join. And you would then be paid on all 7 tiers. And look at that 7th tier. It pays up to $4,000 per agent, and 25% of the 20%. So you can see we literally give all the money away, but you just need to earn it. So let me give you a couple of examples. Yes.
I got a quick question.
Yes. Okay.
And does this stack on top of a referral fee as well?
Yes. So let's say that on your first tier that you have an agent and you give them a deal, and you say, hey, I'm going to get 30% of that. I want 30% of the gross commission. So you will get 30% of the gross commission, and you will also be paid 17.5% of the commission that the agent received.
Okay.
So the answer is, yeah, you get both. Yeah.
Well, good, because with starting a team,
yes,
with me running the team, that's my commission split is 30%.
You bet.
So, and then I give away a lot of, I give away a lot of business, period. But definitely to my agents.
Yep. It's a great question, Alex. And so there's the answer, is that to be able to recognize that, you can do, and just so everybody out there understands, Alex is an agent, but he's starting a team. And so you can start a team. In fact, all of you now are super brokers. You're not just a broker. So when I was a broker in Texas, I could only invite agents in Texas. Now that I'm with EXP, I'm an agent and can invite anybody anywhere in the United States.
And I'd be glad to send anybody my signs so they could kind of have something to look at.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Alex. I appreciate that offer. And again, just get with me and I'll give you Alex's contact information on that. And so, so going to number 5, still again, looking at passive income, let's say that you just invite 6 agents, maybe the next year. And again, we do all the recruiting, we share with them this good news. And so you have 6 cappers, and it's $2,800. And if they're good, productive agents, that you would be paid, and that's $16,800. Well, how much was your cap? $16,000. So thus, you're going to be able to get, this is another way for you to get over 100% of your commissions. Not only will you build your business and have more commissions, not only will you have stock, but now you're going to have passive income. Hey, Alex, could you mute you, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. And then then let's say that every one of those agents invite productive agents that are cappers, 2.6 million. And remember, you get paid up to $3,200 for those agents. So now you would be making $3,000 just with 6 agents that you invited, and those 6 agents just invited 1 agent, that you would now be making $3,000 a month. Plus, you'd have shares of stock, right? $400 times 6 agents you invited, $2,400 worth of stock at today's price of the stock, not assuming that it would go up. And then, but can you imagine what $3,000 a month passive income would do for you and your family? I mean, it could probably pay the mortgage, you know, the car payment, whatever. So this is a life changer, and it truly has changed thousands of agents' lives. And it is just my pleasure to be able to, and privilege to be able to share this good news with you as well. Now let's do another 5-year business plan though, and what we'd like to teach is 10 will get you 10, because this is probably more of the type of money that you've been praying for and wanting for you and your family. So on the first tier, let's say that you invite, so 10 will get 10. So you invite 10 agents. So you do that in the next, you know, 10 months, you do that in the next couple of years, whatever. And so again, I'm assuming in 5 years, you get 10 agents. So you'd be paid $28,000 if they're cappers, $28,000 a year. Now, on the second level, we're going to each help each one of those 10 agents get 10 agents. So that would be 100 agents on your second tier. And assuming they're productive agents, the cappers, times 3,200. Now you'd be making $348,000 a year. By the way, we have lots of agents that are making this kind of money and much more. In fact, you'd actually get paid on the third level, because remember, 10 agents actually pays all 3 levels. So you'd probably be making about $500,000 just get 10 agents. So invite 10 agents that you know. And I have all kinds of ways for you to, I can help you in order to invite those agents. And so you can see where this is a life changer. This is a legacy changer, you know, leave a legacy for you, your children with this business model. And so now I decided, well, let's just do the most conservative 5-year financial plan, because I specialize in financial plans for agents and have helped many agents and brokers to increase their wealth and abundance and have a retirement plan, have an exit strategy, not have to work all the time. And so let's just do a real conservative one. And let's say they're not productive agents. In fact, let's just say every agent that you bring and that they bring, those agents bring agents also 7 levels, that they only do 6 transactions a year, average sale $150,000. Okay, so for most of you and most of your markets, you're saying, come on, this is ridiculously small. But let's make it ridiculously small and see kind of ridiculously large your income will be. So you introduce me to 6 agents a year and 1 agent just every 2 months. So you're not doing, in fact, I only recommend investing 2 hours a week on inviting agents, and inviting agents to me, personal webinars like this one-on-one webinars. I have on-demand webinars. You know, there's all kinds, lunch and learns all over the country, all kinds of ways to be able to invite agents. And they only give us 3 agents a year. So 1 agent every 4 months. So like these agents that you bring in, that they bring, you know, like they're sleeping too much or drinking too much, and they're not doing much business, and they're not inviting too many agents, okay? And so you'll only get paid on 6 levels. Remember that 7th level pays the most. You're only going to get paid on 6 levels because you'd only had given me 6 agents in 5 years. It's only 30 agents. So you'd only get paid on 6 levels. Any guesses on how much you'd be making 5 years? Your annual income in 5 years, based on these lousy results, like if you were a recruiter, we'd all be fired, right? And so, and you're not a recruiter. I am, though, and with my team, and we'll do all the recruiting for you. But your annual income in 5 years by doing this very little piece here, just changing your business strategy just a little, and it's all a mindset, and all of this is a mindset, because if you don't see this, like I've had agents that say, no, this isn't for me. And I say, why? And they say, well, I just love my broker. And I go, great, you're going to love your broker even more, because after you join, we'll invite them, and you're going to love making money off your broker, and if they have any agents, off all of those agents. Or another objection I get is, oh, I love my team. And I say, great, invite them. They're going to love this. They're going to have instant information on excuse me, on everything that they need up on the cloud with the 12 departments. They're going to have all this training. They're going to have me and all of my mindset training, the best mindset training in America that they're going to have. And so if all else fails, I asked the agent, I'd say, would you mind if I show this to your spouse? And for those that are foolish enough to say, no problem, that I talk to the spouse. And in every case, the spouse has turned to the agent or broker and said, you go do this. And so it's only, again, an ego risk. There's no financial risk in this. And this is an answer to your prayer. You just have to allow it in. And so some examples, Juan and Bettina, I know all these people, they're dear friends of mine. Juan and Bettina, they just got 14 agents, about one agent every month. But you could see that after 12 months, that agents invite agents. So they weren't doing this. Agents were just inviting agents. And so you can expect about every agent to be about $1,000. So they were making a six-figure income. And before they were doing about 12 million, now they're doing 16 million. And Wilco, in 7 months, he got 22 agents, and it got 117. He now has, I think, like 700 agents. Jeff and Amanda, 68 in 12 months. Remember, those are the agents that didn't care about the revenue share and stock. Now they do. And they have much more than this. All of these have lots more. In fact, Brad Cove, look at him. He got in 2 months, and all he did was invest 2 hours on Friday to be able to invite agents to see a short webinar. And I could show you which webinar. In fact, DocHankWebinar.com is one of them you can go to. And in fact, will be this one that we're recording. I'm going to put up on there. And but you can see that in 2 months that he got 121 agents. Well, Brent, 3 years later, has over 4,000 agents. And he makes so much money that I don't even want to tell you, because you probably won't believe me, but just know it's all good, and it's lots and lots of money. He makes a six-figure income every month. And so here's the bottom line, is it's an 80-20 split, $16,000 cap. You're going to get that back in 3 different ways. You have an opportunity to get that back. After that, you earn 100% of your commission. Your investment, all my Dr. Hank resources and services are free. My books, everything are free and free to you. My training processes, and people have paid thousands of dollars. My coaching, you can have me one-on-one coaching. And so you call me with, in fact, Victoria and I, who's on the line here, she called me on Saturday. We talked for, I don't know, close to an hour, just her assessment. I have amazing assessments to be able to provide you. Then the first month, you're going to get a website, you're going to get a CRM, you're going to get the leads program, you're going to get access to the world's largest real estate brokerage office, you're going to have over 300 people there to serve you, you're going to have all this training, over 35 hours of training, all of that, and just for $149 the first month. And so I was with the #1 real estate team in America, out of Maryland. And before we got to the slide, they said, okay, we love it. How much does it cost? $100,000, $500,000, and we're not paying $1 million. That's what they told me. And no, it's just $149. So for you, again, there's no capital risk at all in this. And then from there on out, it's just $85 per month. Get the leads program, all the training, all of my stuff, just $85 per month. Then per closing, it's just $65 per closing. So on each closing you have, we charge a $25 broker review to keep you out of jail. And then if you are going to jail, a $40 E&O insurance. And that E&O insurance, by the way, caps at $500. So very realistic. And, the broker really does review, make sure that, everything is good. So again, keeps you and us out of jail on that. So agents love EXP. This agent here, Chris Fever, he was doing about 6 deals a year, joins EXP in his first year because all the training, his leads program, closes 26 deals. In his next year, what did he do? 10 million. And again, that's what I specialize in, to help you 10 million. I love his sign, by the way. His name is Chris Fever, but he has Chris Cares on his sign. He uses the EXP logo, but again, you don't have to. You can use your own logo. In fact, Alex uses his own stuff on it. And then brokers just love this. Terry Hooker, he spent 17 years, 8 agents he ended up having, 3 office locations. He wasn't able to have his dream come true. And then on the other hand, I know other agents, brokers that have their dreams come true, but they're working from 7 o'clock at night to 11 o'clock. It's 7 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock at night, and they're killing themselves, and they just love this too. And I have a broker from major brokerage that is coming over with a lot of agents because of this amazing thing. But back to Terry, he basically eliminated 3 offices, $100,000 of overhead, $12,000 of technology expenses, mainly lead programs that he gave to his agents, and then he would charge them 50-50. None of that happens. These leads are your leads, they're exclusive leads. You pick your neighborhood, they come exclusively to you, they're yours, period. And then he eliminated all the broker dues, and then better yet, best yet, and why I left my brokerage and 420 agents is because I knew this wasn't necessarily the best thing for me short-term financially, but I knew it was the best thing for my agents. Nowhere could I give my agents, anywhere in America, anywhere in the world, better support and service to my agents, better education, better leads program, and then they get stock revenue share, and I get no liability. In fact, I don't have to take care of any of my agents per se, that when they have questions specific to deals and all this is all done by, I got over 300 people there helping me to be able to help you become your greatest possibility. So this is an opportunity to empower you and others, improve you and your family's life forever. Live your life in a freer and a richer way. To have equity, to have savings for your future. Now you're going to have passive income. You're going to have stock, that you're going to have the things that we as agents and brokers never had before. We're going to be able to build our passive income. Do you know all billionaires, every billionaire that I've heard about or read about, that they have multiple streams of income? Well, now you have multiple streams of income. So since we're out selling homes, we might as well get free lead programs, the best training in America, public stock, revenue share that pays 20 times more, Keller Williams. So it's the exact same, very successful program as Keller Williams, but we just pay 20 to 40 times more. And I do it for all those reasons, but the reason why I love it most, it's an opportunity to change other people's lives, to change your life in a greater and a better way, to expand your imagination, to be able to fly with your angels. In fact, speaking of that, connect with me on Facebook at Angel Connections with an S, and there's an angel made out of the clouds in the sky, and would love to do that. But this is a way really to take you to a whole new level of happiness and prosperity. And so become a super broker today. And the first step that I would recommend that you do, no matter what, is go to join.exprealty.com. All this does is request the agreement and shows you everything in black and white. So you can read it and see all of these amazing, wonderful things. If you have any questions, let me know. We do luxury, we do residential, we do commercial, and you can do due diligence at www.agentwealthsuccess.com. So with that, this is a way to have all the things required to be a top agent, and with your mindset, leads, training, and now you will have a savings program and passive income. And so it's your real estate GPS to success. Does anybody have any question? What did you like best on what you heard today? Questions? Okay, well, listen, everybody, I appreciate you, and I would recommend that you see this several times again. I will send it to you, and typically you need to see this about 3 times to really understand the impact that this is going to have for you and your family. This is Dr. Hank. All my love, all the best. Bye-bye.